The more we study and learn, the more we realize we know little. Robert Kiyosaki. Have you ever stopped to think about why some people seem to have it all while others are trapped in endless debt? Is there a secret that the rich know and you haven't discovered yet? Stay until the end of this video and I'll show you how to get out of debt, live off passive income, and completely change your financial future. Today, we will talk about the essential steps that got me out of an $800,000 debt and brought me financial freedom. And no, the answer isn't in cutting up credit cards or making impossible sacrifices, but in something much deeper and transformative. Curious? Then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's start this journey toward prosperity. Step 1. Be honest with yourself. As Kiyosaki always says, the number one reason people struggle financially is that they spent years in school but never learned anything about money. This is a fundamental point. The first thing you need to do is to be brutally honest with yourself. When I found myself drowning in debt, my wife Kim had no idea what was happening. She saw a man driving a Mercedes, dining at the best restaurants, but the reality was different. I was completely broke. This was one of the darkest times in my life, and the worst part is that I refused to admit the situation I was in. This made me waste time and make the situation even worse. You can lie to your friends, to your family, and even to your wife, as I did. But the only person you can never lie to is yourself. This is where the importance of self-assessment comes in. If you want to get out of your financial hole, you need to admit the situation you are in. Financial honesty is the starting point for any economic transformation. Stop and make a sincere analysis of your finances. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, open your bank accounts, credit cards, look at your debts and earnings. Ask yourself, how much do I really owe? How much do I really earn? If you don't know exactly where you stand, how will you know where to go? Studies show that most people underestimate their debts by up to 30%. This means that often we think we are in a better financial situation than we really are. A survey by the Federal Reserve revealed that the average debt per adult in the United States is around $90,000. For many, this debt is largely invisible, hidden behind credit cards, student loans, and mortgages. Have you ever done this analysis before? It can be painful, but it's the first step toward financial freedom. Step 2. Stop accumulating debt. Imagine you were in a hole and kept digging. Sounds absurd, right? But that's exactly what many people do when they continue taking out loans or making purchases on installments. When Kim and I were at rock bottom, we had to make sacrifices. We lived in the attic of an apartment for a while. Sometimes Kim had just a few dollars to get through the weekend. It was hard, but necessary. We were living a life of appearances, spending money we didn't have on things we didn't need to impress people we didn't even know well. If you want to get out of debt, you need to stop digging the hole. This means, practically speaking, avoiding new debts at all costs. There's no point in trying to pay off one debt if you're creating another at the same moment. The golden rule here is to make small sacrifices now to reap the rewards later. If you're used to dining out every week or buying things on your credit card, you need to rethink your priorities. Here's an interesting fact. A study by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants revealed that the main reason for debt among middle-class families in the United States is the combination of mortgages and credit card debts. And these debts grow rapidly with compound interest. If you make the minimum payment on a credit card debt of $10,000 at an average interest rate of 17%, it will take over 25 years to pay off the debt. And in the end, you will have paid more than $21,000 just in interest. That's why the first thing you should do is stop creating new debts. Make budget cuts, live in a cheaper place, reduce unnecessary expenses, and focus on paying off existing debts. It's tough at first, but it's the only way out of the hole. Step 3. List all your debts. Be honest, do you know exactly how much you owed and to whom? When I finally admitted to myself that I was in trouble, Kim made me sit down and list every debt. We wrote down the investors I owed, friends and family, and even income tax. It was painful but necessary. And that pain is an important part of the process because it forces you to face the reality you've been avoiding. Robert Kiyosaki always talks about the power of facing reality. Winners are those who confront their problems, losers run from them. This is a crucial point. Most people prefer to live in denial, hoping that their debts will magically disappear. But that never happens. By listing all your debts, you get a clear picture of your financial situation. And when you see the debts organized, you can start making a plan to pay them off. Here's an alarming fact. According to National Debt Relief, 73% of Americans die with some form of debt. And much of that debt was never properly managed. This reflects a lack of financial planning. If you don't know how much you owe, how can you plan to pay it off? So, what you need to do now is list all your debts. Don't leave any out. Whether it's a small debt to a friend or a large bank loan, write everything down. Only then can you start to outline a realistic action plan to get rid of each one. Step 4. Hire an accountant. Did you know that one of the main differences between the rich and the poor is that the rich have accountants? It seems simple, but it makes all the difference. Kiyosaki is clear about this. Rich people have accountants, poor people do not keep accurate records. When I was lost in debt, I tried to manage everything by myself. The result: disorganization, stress, and shame. I didn't know where my money was going or how to manage the multiple debts and financial obligations. It was when we followed my rich dad's advice and hired an accountant that things began to improve. Hiring an accountant is not a luxury, it's a necessity for anyone who really wants to get out of financial trouble. They will help you organize your finances, understand where you are overspending, and where you can cut costs. Plus, they will help you structure a debt repayment plan efficiently. Research shows that people who have accountants and maintain a strict record of their finances have a 50% higher chance of paying off their debts within a 5-year period. The accountant gives you clarity, control, and, above all, peace of mind to move forward with your plan to pay off debt and build wealth. Step 5. Visualize your debts. If you want to change your financial reality, you need to see it clearly every day. Robert Kiyosaki. This was one of the greatest lessons I learned during my journey. Visualizing debts is a simple but extremely powerful exercise. A common mistake is to avoid looking at debts out of fear or shame. But if you want to overcome your financial difficulties, you need to face that fear. On Kim and I created a chart with all our debts. We listed the total amount owed, the monthly payments, and how long it would take to pay each one off. Every day, we looked at that chart. We knew exactly what we needed to do and what the next step would be. This gave us clarity and focus, which kept us motivated to move forward. Studies show that visualizing goals, including financial ones, increases the chances of success by up to 40%. This is because by visualizing your debts and your goals, you reinforce your mind with what needs to be done, keeping you disciplined and committed to the plan. This process of enrichment requires discipline, honesty, and commitment to the future. Step 6. Pay off the easiest debts first. Here's a secret that many traditional economists don't like to admit. Paying off smaller debts first is one of the most effective ways to get out of financial trouble. This is because seeing quick progress keeps you motivated. Robert Kiyosaki always talks about the power of momentum. Once you see progress, you feel motivated to continue. That's why you should start by paying off the debt with the smallest amount. When you eliminate a debt, even if it's small, you gain confidence and energy to tackle the next one. This method is known as the debt snowball method, popularized by various financial experts, including Dave Ramsey. The concept is simple: list all your debts from smallest to largest. Don't worry about interest rates at this moment. The idea is to see quick wins to maintain momentum. By paying off the first debt, you use the amount you were paying on it to tackle the second, and so on. This snowball effect creates a sense of constant progress, helping to combat the discouragement that can arise when you look at a large debt that seems insurmountable. A study by Harvard Business Review showed that individuals using this method are 15% more likely to eliminate all their debts compared to those focusing only on higher value or higher interest debts. This is because psychological progress is a powerful motivation tool. Now think about your own debts. Is there a smaller one you can pay off quickly? Start with it. The relief you'll feel will encourage you to keep moving forward. Step 7. Diversify your income streams. After getting out of debt, one of the best moves you can make is to diversify your income streams. Kiyosaki has always emphasized the importance of creating passive income. The rich don't work for money. They have money work for them. This concept is crucial for building wealth and stability in the long run. Passive income is money earned with little to no effort on your part, such as investments, rental properties, or royalties from intellectual property. The rich know that relying on just one source of income is a risk. A job can be lost, an industry can decline, but multiple income streams provide a safety net. The goal should be to create a stable financial future where you're not solely dependent on your salary. According to a report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, people who have multiple income streams are more likely to build significant wealth over time. On average, those with more than one source of income report 50% higher savings rates than those relying only on their salaries. Start by looking at your current skills and passions. Is there something you can monetize? Consider side gigs, investments, or even starting a small business based on your talents. The more streams of income you create, the less stress you'll feel regarding your finances. Conclusion: take action. Robert Kiyosaki once said, "The most important thing is to take action. Knowledge without action is meaningless." You may have learned a lot from this video, but if you don't implement what you've learned, it won't make a difference in your life. Take the time to reflect on these steps and start applying them today. Remember, the journey to financial freedom may not be easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. You deserve to live a life free from financial stress. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with those who might also benefit. Let's change our financial future together.